So I think the last session we have started with respect to the performance analysis of our transmission line. Performance analysis of transmission line. The main important thing is nothing but for design and operation. For design and operation of our transmission line. Designing of a transmission line or operation of your transmission line, we need to calculate what will be the voltage drop, line loss, and efficiency of the transmission line. So these three things is going to be often needed for the performance analysis of our transmission line. So if you want to design a transmission line or operation of your transmission line, so we need to calculate what is the voltage drop, line loss, and efficiency, so that we can able to analyze the performance of your transmission line. For easy analysis of our transmission line, we have classified the short limit transmission lines of your short, medium, and long transmission line. We have classified the transmission lines of one short transmission line, medium transmission line, and long transmission line. Okay, but how we have classified this limit, on what basis or what criteria we have classified the transmission lines of one short, medium, and long. So based on limit is based on two things. One is going to appear voltage. Okay, and second thing is going to appear distance. Second thing is going to appear distance. Okay. Someone is asking to admit. Prabhu, what happened? 125. Madam, Vidya madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, the Prabhu check பண்ணீங்க உள்ள வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் ஏன்னா எந்த வைரி யூஸ் பண்றது இல்ல அட்மிட் கேக்குது.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
Performance of our transmission line, right? So main thing for the main objectives of our transmission line here is performance analysis for designing a transmission line and the operation of your transmission line. We need to calculate what is the voltage drop, what is the line loss, and efficiency of the transmission line, so that we can able to analyze the performance analysis of our transmission line for the design aspect as well as of your operation of your transmission line. So for analysis purpose, we have categorized the transmission line of your short transmission line, medium transmission line, and long transmission line. How we have classified these things on what criteria we have classified these transmission lines based on voltage and distance. If the short transmission line means nothing but if your voltage is going to be upon less than 20 kilovolts, if your voltage is going to be upon less than 20 kilovolts and your distance is going to be upon less than 50 kilometers, then that type of transmission line we have categorized as upon short transmission line. That is going to be categorized as upon short transmission line. If your distance is going to be upon greater than 50 kilometers and less than 150 kilometers, then the type of transmission line is going to be of your medium transmission line. Okay, and here the voltage level is going to be upon greater than 20 kilovolts and less than 100 kilovolts. Greater than 100 kilovolts, greater than 20 kilovolts and less than 100 kilovolts. When long transmission line, if your distance is going to be upon greater than 150 kilometers and your voltage level is greater than 100 kilovolts, then that is going to be of your long transmission line. So right, this we have discussed in the previous session. Okay, so but since we know that the parameter of transmission line, what is the parameter of your transmission line? The parameter of transmission is R, L, C, and G. Okay, the G is going to be as a reciprocal of your resistance. Okay, so but the effect on this transmission is going to be often very less. The three important parameter of your transmission line is going to be of your R, L, and C. Out of that, the important two parameters is going to be of your L and C. Important two parameters is going to be of your L and as well as of your C. Right? So this we have seen in the previous module. Remember, first half of the module, how to calculate the inductance and capacitance of our transmission line. This parameter in the transmission line is going to be often distributed parameter, not a lumped parameter. Okay, this we cannot able to physically remove this parameter from your transmission line. It is distributed throughout your transmission line. Okay, so how we are going to consider for the performance analysis also is going to play a vital role in the performance analysis. Okay, so previous session we have discussed how to calculate the parameters of the performance analysis of your short transmission line. It is how to calculate your voltage regulation and efficiency of your transmission line. We have discussed. Okay, and when considered in medium transmission line, how we are going to consider the effect of capacitance based on the medium transmission line. We can consider based on how we are going to place the capacitance in your transmission line. Based on that, the medium transmission line can be analyzed in the three categories. One is going to be your N condenser method. N condenser method, right? Second is going to be your nominal P method, and third is going to be your nominal Phi method. Okay, so I think in the previous session we have seen how to analyze the performance of your transmission line by using of an N condenser method. In today's session, we'll see about how to calculate but analyze the performance of your transmission line by using of your P method as well as of your Phi method. Then we'll move to of your long transmission line. So first we are going to see about the nominal T method. We are going to see the nominal T method. In the nominal T method, how we are going to calculate the parameters of our transmission line or to evaluate the performance of our transmission line. Okay, so for that we have to draw the equivalent circuits of our transmission line. Once if you are able to draw the equivalent circuits of your transmission line, then you can able to draw the vector diagram of our equivalent circuits. Okay. Second thing is going to be of our nominal T method. Okay. So we are going to analyze the performance of our medium transmission line. Okay. So in the medium transmission line, three types you can able to analyze. One is going to be a N condenser method, and second is going to be a nominal T method, and third is going to be a nominal Phi method. So now I am going to draw the equivalent circuit. I told you, but we cannot able to neglect the effect of capacitance. We have to consider the effect of capacitance. Okay. In previous lectures, we have considered the effect of capacitance, but we have placed at the end of the transmission line. So what will happen is that will cause us the serious error in the calculation. It means there will be 10% of error will be introduced in the performance calculation. So in order to have a more or less exact calculation, we are going to place the effect of capacitance in the mid of the transmission line. So when I am placing in the mid of the transmission line, my equivalent circuits become often the distributed parameter of R and L is going to be often filtered into 2R. Okay, so this is going to be of my R by 2, and this is going to be of my XL by 2. Okay, and this is going to be of my R by 2, and this is going to be of my XL by 2. Okay, so it means the Z by 2. So this is I can able to write it as of here Z by 2, and this is I can able the total impedance of the transmission line is going to be of my Z, means the half impedance is going to be of my Z by 2. So I am placing, instead of placing at the end point, I am placing the effect of capacitance at the midpoint of my transmission line. I am placing at the midpoint of my transmission line. Okay. And this voltage is going to be of my receiving end voltage, that is going to be of an VR. Okay, and the sending end voltage at this point is going to be of my sending end voltage, that is going to be called as of here PS, and the current here is going to be of here IS current is going to be of sending. So and this is going to be of series. So this current is going to be of IS. At this point, this current is going to be of splitting. Okay, and this is going to be of my receiving end current, IR current. Okay, and this is going to be of my capacitor, and this is going to be of my capacitor, and the current which is flowing the capacitor is going to be of my IC current, and the capacitor the current flowing here is going to be of my IC current. So then automatically the voltage across this point, is going to be of I am going to take this of V1 is going to be of the voltage across my capacitance. Okay. So here entire analysis we are doing for often per phase analysis. Why? Because the system what we are taking is going to be a balanced system. Balanced system per phase analysis is going to be often is equivalent for the three-phase analysis. So that's why here, but I have drawn the equivalent circuit of the nominal T method per phase. Okay, so now I am going to draw the phasor diagram here, but for drawing for this equivalent circuit, this is the equivalent circuit of my equivalent circuit of nominal T method. Nominal T method. Okay, so for this I am going to draw the phasor diagram. I am going to draw the phasor diagram. Once if I am able to draw the phasor diagram, means I limit for the known quantity, which I am going to take is going to be the known quantity limit. The receiving end current limit is going to be of the known quantity, and receiving end voltage is going to be of my known quantity. So with the known quantity, I am going to calculate the what will be of my unknown parameters going to be of the sending end current as well as often sending end voltage, so that I can able to determine the performance of my transmission line in terms of voltage regulation. In terms of voltage regulation, what is the voltage regulation? The difference between the voltages with respect to the receiving end point. So it is my voltage is minus VR by VR, right? This change in voltage is nothing but on the condition nothing but from no load to of a full load condition. No load to of a full load condition. If I want for percentage regulation means, then I have to know about what is the value of my sending in voltage, what is my receiving in voltage. Since the receiving in voltage I know that, then I have to calculate what will be of my sending in voltage. So that's why to calculate sending in voltage, I have considered the equivalent circuits of my nominal T method for evaluating the performance of my medium transmission. Okay, when comes to respect of an efficiency is going to optimal power delivered by power sent. Power delivered by power delivered. Since I know about, if I know the current and if I know the phase angle, then I can able to calculate what about my power delivered. So power sent I have to estimate from my equation. So for this purpose, I am going to draw the phasor diagram. So here for drawing the phasor diagram, I am going to take it as of your known quantity my limit. I am of my voltage, that is receiving end voltage VR. With reference to my reference voltage of an VR, I am going to draw the phasor diagram. Okay, so what about my current and what about my voltage and what about my voltage drop? Okay. Always see that remember capacitance. Capacitance of voltage is going to be upon lead. Okay, so when I'm taking of VR, so here it is going to be of inductive nature. So the IR current is going to be upon lag the voltage by an angle. So we cannot able to say it's exactly lagging by upon 90 degrees, but it's lagged by an angle of phi. Okay, that phi is going to be a phi r. So this is going to be the current is going to be upon lags the voltage by an angle of phi r. Okay, but here this is the capacitance voltage is going to be upon lead. Okay, yeah, in the drop part, the drop on the is going to be upon Z by 2. So when current flows in the there will be a voltage drop in this section. Okay, so this voltage is going to be upon higher in magnitude compared to of your VR. Compared to of your VR. So this is going to be upon higher in magnitude, but it will be upon lead. This voltage is going to be upon lead. Okay, so IS current is going to be upon nothing but it's going to be up here. Compared to of your IS current will have upon nothing but lead, but this is going to be upon lag with respect to of your sending in voltage. With respect of your sending in voltage. So here nothing but I am going to draw it out, and since I am taking this upon VR is going to be upon reference, right? The receiving end current. The receiving end current is going to be upon lags the voltage by an angle of phi r. Lags the voltage by an angle of phi r. Okay, that is going to be of your IR. This is my receiving end current. Okay, so with respect to of my sending end, this magnitude is going to be upon higher. That is going to be of your limit V1 voltage. Nothing but is the capacitance voltage. This is going to be of my capacitance voltage. So normally this is going to be upon higher in magnitude. Okay, so compared to this, since there is a drop in this section, so this voltage is going to be upon higher in magnitude compared to upon V1 and VR. So this is going to be of your sending in voltage. Okay, so VS, right? So when your Vs is going to be of a lead, automatically your current is going to be of your lag. Your current is going to be of your lag. This is your IS and lags by an angle of phi f. So capacitance current is going to be of a lead. This is my resistive drop because resistance is going, but in phase with your voltage and current will be of a state. So that's why this is going to be of a resistance of an inductive drop. This is going to be of my inductive drop. Inductive drop is going to be of a 90 degrees. Okay. So this is going to be of my IR R by 2. Okay. IR XL by 2. Okay. And there will be of nothing but in input side also we have half of the impedance that is going to be of here. This is your IS by R by 2 and this is your IS by XL by 2. So this is your sending in voltage. So if you see here, so this is going to be of here leads by 90 degrees. Okay, V1 leads by 90 degrees. So that's why I have drawn this like this. Okay, so this if you take this one, so this is going to be of nothing but, so this is going to be of here voltage drop that is going to be of an lag by 90 degrees. Sorry, this voltage is going to be but leads. This voltage is going to be of an leads. It means with respect to an IR. Okay, and this is going to be of here in phase. So this will be of an in phase with IR, this voltage drop. Okay, and similarly this is going to be of here in phase with IS, and this is going to appear leads by 90 degree with IS. So any doubt how to draw the vector diagram or phasor diagram of an circuit? So this parameter which you are going to take as a reference parameter, based on that you have to draw your phasor diagram. So here I have taken with respect of an VR, then receiving in voltage. Okay, with respect to the receiving in voltage, this current is going to be upon lag. You cannot able to say exactly lag by upon 90 degree. Only we can say that this is going to be upon, but since it's going to be upon inductive nature, current is going to be upon lag. There's R and L. R in phase but L lag. But purely inductance now nobody can able to say that it's lag by upon 90 degree. But it's a resistive inductive. Resistive inductive. So resistive inductive we cannot able to say that it's going to be upon lag exactly by 90 degree. But it means it's lag by an angle of phi. Okay, so that's why here I have wrote nothing but this is going to be and even compared to upon receiving in voltage, the receiving in current is going to be upon lag by an angle of phi r. Okay, so the capacitor is a purely inductive capacitive. Purely capacitive is going to be upon compared to the voltage, this volume but current is going to be upon leads by upon 90 degrees. So current leads by upon 90 degrees. Okay, Okay. So, but with respect to often VR, V1 voltage of my capacitance voltage. I'm taking the capacitance voltage. Okay. Capacitance voltage is going to be often lead. Okay. Capacitance voltage is going to be often lead with respect of your VR. So that's why here remember I have drawn remember VR compared to VR, my capacitance will be often lead, right? But that's remembered by an angle. They often angle. Okay. So here with respect to this V1, this current is going to be often leads by often 90 degrees. That's why I drawn with respect to often exactly 90 degrees. Okay. So but compared to this VR, VS is going to be often higher in magnitude. Here there won't be a sending end point. So higher in magnitude, there won't be a flow drop. So higher in magnitude, but it will be often leads the sending end current by an angle. So that's why compared to sending end current, my voltage is going to be often leads. Okay, so here I'm drawing the phasor diagram, vector diagram for my voltage drop. Okay, voltage drop. So this is your phasor diagram for your medium transmission line. This is your phasor diagram for your medium transmission line. So now I have to calculate what about my sending in current as well as of my sending in voltage. It means I'm going to assume that the known vector is going to be of my reference quantity is going to be of your receiving in quantity. Since it's going to be reference, here I have taken upon reference. The vector quantity here is numeric. I can write it VR equal to 1 plus J0 in vector quantity. Okay. Similarly, my current IR current in vector is going to be of limit base value. Okay, with reference to limit lax by angle of phi r. Lax is minus phi r. It means limit IR is going to be of lax by angle of phi r minus phi r. Okay, so this I can write it in the vector form, nothing but that is equal to often IR into cos phi r minus J of sin phi r. J of minus sin phi r. Okay, so now I have to calculate, because if I want to calculate the VS means, so VS is going to be often another. VS is going to be often this voltage drop plus your V1. This voltage drop plus V1 is going to be your VS. So if I want to estimate what is the VS means, I have to know about my V1. So first I have to determine V1. Okay. Suppose if I want to calculate the current of IS current means IS current is nothing but IC plus IR. Current is going to be of an ICS current plus IS current is equal to of an IC current plus IR current. So this I have to write it from the vector diagram. This I have to write it from my vector diagram. Okay. So now I'm going to calculate what is the voltage. What is the voltage across C? Come on, tell me what will be the voltage across my C. Anyone? Circuit la படிச்சிருக்கோம்ல அதே தான் அப்ளை பண்றோம் அதே கான்செப்ட் தான். Come on, tell me what is the value of your V1? So V1 vector here is nothing but V1 another. This is the voltage across the capacitance. The voltage when now this is a drop across your line and this is the voltage across your load. So it means V1 vector will be equal to of your V1 vector will be equal to of an IR vector into Z by 2 vector. Okay, plus VR vector plus VR vector. Okay, we know that what is your VR. You know that what is your VR. You know that what is your IR vector. You know that what is your VR vector. You know what is your IR vector. Z vector, Z by 2 vector is going to appear R by 2 plus J of XL by 2. Okay, if you substitute that one, you can able to get what is your voltage V1. You can able to get what is your voltage V1. Okay. So I'm writing here. So my V1 vector will be equal to of my, right? VR is there. VR plus 1 plus J0, right? Plus IR. IR is going to be of nothing but IR into cos IR into cos phi R minus J of sin phi R into your Z by 2. Z by 2 is going to be of your R by 2 plus J of XL by 2 into your current. That is the limit is going to be your current. Okay. So this is your V1 vector. It means I can able to calculate what will be the value of my voltage. Vector, you will have the magnitude direction. If you got the direction, then you can able to calculate whatever you are sending in power factor, you can able to calculate whatever you are receiving in power factor. So in the angle value, you can able to determine in the vector quantity directly. So that's why I have wrote everything in the vector form. Okay. So now I have calculated what will be of my V1. Okay. Now if I want to calculate the Vs means I have to know about my the drop terrain. The drop terrain I have to calculate what is your IS. IS vector. IS vector is equal to your IC vector plus your IR vector. So what about your IC? What is your IC? So current flowing through your capacitance. That means you know your capacitance value. If you know your voltage, then you can able to calculate what is your capacitance. You can able to calculate your capacitance. So IC current, what is your IC current? What about your IC current? So IC current, J of omega C into V1 vector. Okay, so nothing but that is equal to 2 pi FC into V1. Okay. So automatically Vs vector will be equal to here. So I think if you substitute, you can get IS. Yes, IR is going to be a known parameter. Okay. So Vs will be equal to here V1 vector plus IS vector into Z by 2 vector. Okay. So if you substitute, you can able to get your Vs vector will be equal to here V1 vector plus IS vector into R2 R by 2 plus J of XL by 2. Okay, you know what is the V1 value. So this is your V1 value. Okay, you know what is your IS. IS is equal to IC plus IR vector. Okay, so if you substitute, you can able to get your VS. So any doubt? Listen here. You have the performance analysis. For doing the performance analysis, you have to calculate what is the line drop, what is the be of your voltage drop, line losses, and the efficiency. So regulation, we know what is the formula, and efficiency, we know what is your formula. Okay. So in the quantity of the determinant, you have to know about the unknown quantity. So for performance analysis, I have drawn the equivalent circuit of my medium transmission line. So here in the medium transmission line, I have taken off nominal T method. It means instead of limit, the lumped parameter. I have taken off lumped. Means I have lumped the distributed parameter and placing at one point. Okay. How I am going to place the capacitance that will have the impact on my circuit. So in N condenser method, I have placed at the end of my transmission line. So what will happen? Nothing but the voltage is limited. This single voltage is going to be boosted up more or less. Comfort of normal. Okay. When since the capacity is going to happen uniformly distributed to transmission. So what I am doing now in the nominal T method, I am placing at the midpoint. I am placing at the midpoint. So when I am placing at the midpoint, what will be of my receiving end voltage or will be of my sending end voltage with the effect of my capacitance. I can able to and I can able to calculate what is the efficiency of my transmission line. Okay. So for that, for finding out the performance of my transmission line in terms of regulation and efficiency, I have to determine the unknown quantities. Okay, here I have taken the reference quantity is going to be of an VR. So when the current voltage is going to be of reference, then I can able to keep as current also is going to be of reference with respect to the receiving end point. Okay, so now I have to calculate what will be of my voltage across the thing. And why? Because if I want to estimate my VS means, right? So this drop and this drop is going to be of my VS. Okay, if I want to calculate the V1 means, so this is a drop across your impedance line, in other words, series impedance, and this is the voltage across the load point. So that will give your V1 value. So that I am writing in terms of the form. Okay, so then I can able to calculate what about my V1 value. If I want to calculate this drop to estimate your VS means, I have to know about the current. So the sending end current at this point is divided into an IC and IR. So IR, I know that value. IC, nothing but this is going to be of your capacitance. So with respect to the voltage, with the reactance, I can able to calculate what about the current. So that only I have did it here. So IC is nothing but Y into V. Y into of your V, that is going to be gives your IC. Okay, so that nothing but 1 by omega C. If you get put that 1 by omega C become often 2 pi FC into V1. Okay, so I can able to get the current. In the IC capacitance current, then I can able to calculate my IS current. IS current, then I can able to calculate what is my sending in voltage. So this is going to be of my sending in voltage. So now with this, we can able to solve the numerical problem for your nominal T method. Now, next thing is, remember, instead of placing at the midpoint the capacitance effect, I am going to split the capacitance into two halves. One I am placing at the starting of the transmission line. One I am placing at the ending of the transmission line, right? So previously I have splitted the series impedance, lumped impedance of my transmission into two halves, and I have placed the capacitance in the middle of the transmission line. So instead of splitting the transmission line impedance, I am splitting the effect of capacitance and placing one at the starting point, another at the midpoint. So that method here is going to be called as of your nominal pi method. That is going to be called as of your nominal pi method. So here remember the capacitance is going to be into two halves. One half are being lumped at the sending end point. Another half I am going to place it at my receiving end point. But when I am placing at the sending end point, that won't have when I am placing at the sending end point of the capacitance, that won't have much effect on the line drop. And line drop the starting point place the line drop, the series impedance drop it won't compensate by your conductor. It won't compensate by your conductor. So there won't be of no effect due to of here this one. So that time we are going to estimate the nominal T method. This is a VS sending in voltage. Okay, and this current is going to be of my sending in current, and current device here. This is going to be of my IC current. Okay, so this current is going to be of half of the current. So that's why here I am going to take care of current. Since the capacity is going to be of C by 2 and C by 2, placing one half at my R XL. Okay, and the load which is going to be connected at this point. So this is my VR. Okay. current won't split. Right. So this I am taking as of an IC1 current here, and this is going to be of my IC2 current. Capacitance one is going to be splitting. Okay. Okay. Now we have, so here for analysis of your performance analysis of your medium transmission line, so I have taken up nominal parameter. It means our distributed parameter of R, L, and C. This is a distributed parameter. This distributed parameter I am lumping at one point. For analysis purpose, I am considering I am lumped at one point. Okay. So this is going to be, I am drawing the equivalent circuits of a lumped network for my nominal pi method. So here nothing but the effect of capacitance, but I have taken the one half at my starting point, another one at my ending point. Means I am expecting the effect of capacitance as a two half. One half I am placing at the starting point of my transmission line. One half I am placing at the ending point of my transmission line. Okay. So, but this capacitance, when you're doing like this in the calculation, it won't have much effect for your line drop. It won't have much effect on your line drop. So for performance analysis, we need to calculate what is our sending in voltage, what about is sending in current in terms of receiving in quantity. In terms of my receiving in quantity. To calculate what is the percentage voltage regulation and percentage efficiency of my transmission. If I want to calculate the efficiency of the transmission, I have to calculate what about my line loss. So then only I can able to calculate what is the efficiency of my transmission. Okay, so to analyze the node, I am going to draw the phasor diagram for the nominal pi method. This is the equivalent circuit of the nominal pi method. Here I am going to take the vector quantity is going to be of minimum. My voltage VR is going to be of my reference. VR is going to be of my techniques of my reference. When I am taking the VR as of a reference, okay, then what about my current? The VR current, that VR current is going to be of a lag the voltage by some angle. The current voltage is the current one is going to be often lags. Because it's going to be of your series circuit. Series circuit is inductive circuit. Inductive. There will be often lag. Okay. By lag by angle of phi r. Lag by angle of phi r. So this is my IR. So this is my IR. So compared to that, okay. So this I have taken of an voltage. Okay. So ஏன் இங்க வந்து வோல்டேஜ் எழுதுறீங்க பாருங்க. இதுக்கப்புறம் இது கிடையாது. அப்ப இங்க என்ன வோல்டேஜ் இருக்கோ அதே தான் இங்கே வோல்டேஜ் இருக்கும். இங்க என்ன வோல்டேஜ் இருக்கோ அந்த வோல்டேஜ் இங்கே இருக்கும். So I have not mentioned the voltage for my capacitance. I have not mentioned the voltage for my capacitance. Okay. So with respect to the receiving end point, what about my sending in voltage? What about my sending in? So sending in voltage definitely is going to be of my lead, but compared to that, there will be a higher in magnitude. This is higher in magnitude. Why? Because the drop in my series impedance, and the drop that is going to be due to the current of IL current. So IL current எப்படி இருக்கும்? IL current எப்படி இருக்கும்? IL current வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா is going to be of nothing but compared to of your IR, your IL current will be of a higher இருக்குமா lesser இருக்குமா? Okay. So this is my IL current. This is my IL current. So IL current, then my impedance is going to be of my drop across my resistance is going to be of same as that of my IL current, and the drop across my inductor is going to be often lead by an angle of 90 degrees. So that's going to be often lead by an angle of 90 degrees. So idoda value pathina is going to be often IL into R. This is a voltage drop across your resistance. So this is going to be often IL into XL. This is a drop across your inductive. That is going to be often 90 degrees. Okay. So when your voltage is going to be of reverse leads, your sending in current will be of a never form. Lag. Your sending in current is going to be of your lag. Sending in current is going to be of your lag time. Okay. It will be of a lagging. That lagging is going to be of your 5 years. So this current here, nothing but the capacitive current. This is a capacitive current of IC1 and IC2, which is going to be of your 90 degrees. Yes, I think someone is unmuting. Any doubt? Doubt about? Okay. Actually, கொஞ்சம் லென்த்தா போட்டுறணும். This is my IR, okay, by 5R, and this is my current of IS current. Okay, this is my IS current, which lags by an angle of IS. Okay, so this is my IL. Okay, this is my IC1. This IC1, this IC2. Between IL and IS. Okay, leads by, so this is going to be upon leads by 90 degrees. Okay, so this is going to be upon in phase with your current of IL. So this is going to be upon leads by 90 degrees with respect to upon IL. Okay. So if you want, you can write it out. This is going to be upon nothing but lag behind VR by 90. Okay. Right? This is going to be upon leads. This is leads with respect to upon which one? V. Okay. So this is going to appear in phase. In phase. Okay. So this is going to be upon leads by 90 degrees with respect to upon IL. Okay. Come on, get me the value, the phasor diagram. So known quantity here is going to appear Vs. So Vs vector is equal to often, sorry, Vr. So it means Vr into 1 plus J0. The reference. So only magnitude will be there. Okay. And IR current will be equal to often nothing but lags by often phi r. So it means IR into minus phi r. This phi r number I can write it in the rectangular form. That is nothing but IR into cos phi r minus j of sin phi r. Okay. So if I want to calculate the Vs means I have to know about my IS. IS means I have to know about IC2 plus your IL. Okay. If you want to know about your IL means you have to know about your IC1 and IR. So it means my IL current vector will be equal to often IC1 current plus your IR current. IR vector current. Okay. So what about your IC1? What about your IC1? What about your IC1? What about your IC1? So So IC1 current is nothing but what potential is going to appear VR. So it means C by 2. It means J of omega C by 2 into VR. So that is your IC1. Okay. So if you know your IC1, then you can able to calculate your IR. It means IL will be equal to often J of omega C by 2 into VR. VR is going to be often 1 plus J0. Okay. Plus, right? Your IR equal to often IR into cos phi R minus J of sin phi R. So that is your IL. That will be of your IL. Okay. So if you know about your IL, then you can able to calculate what will be of your. You have to calculate your IC2. So it means your IC2 will be equal to of what will be of your IC2? What about your IC2? என்ன எடுப்பீங்க? IC2 எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்ணுவீங்க? IC2 எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்ணுவீங்க? IC2 BS. You have to know about your BS. Okay. So it means IC2 current, if you want to calculate your IC2 current means, so that IC2 current is nothing but it's going to be of your current is going to be of your J of omega C by 2 into VS. But you have to know about your VS. It means VS vector will be equal to what is your VS vector? What is your VS vector? இங்க என்ன drop இருக்கு? இந்த பாயிண்ட் என்ன drop? VR drop plus the drop across your impedance. That is your VS. ஏன்னா இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல VS தான் இருக்கும், right? இந்த drop இருக்கும். Okay. So அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்னா your VS vector will be equal to of your VR vector plus your drop across your impedance. என்னது? IL into Z. IL vector into of your Z vector. So it means my VR vector plus IL vector, you know what is your IL vector. Okay. It means you can able to get your IL vector here. So IL vector into Z means is going to be often R plus JXL. So you can able to get your VS. If you know your VS means, then you can able to calculate your IC2 current. IC2 current is going to be often J of omega C by 2 into VS vector. So that is your IC vector. Okay. So this you can able to determine from your phasor diagram. So this is your nominal pi method. So you can able to analyze what is your regulation in efficiency if you able to determine the vector. Okay. Any doubt? That doubt you have? So nothing but clear that IL vector is equal to often J of omega C by 2 into VR plus IR into cos phi R minus J of sin phi R. If you are able to know how to draw the equivalent circle field, then you can able to write your vector, then you can able to determine the quantity, then you can analyze the performance of your short or medium or long transmission line. Okay. We are going to solve the numerical problem. So next, long transmission line. When we are speaking about the long transmission line, the distance is going to be often higher. Okay, it means above 150 kilometer or 180 kilometer is limit, we are calling this often long transmission line. Okay, so in long transmission distance is going to be often higher, your voltage level also is going to be often higher, it's going to be often more than 100 kilovolts. So in case of more than 100 kilovolts, you cannot lump your limit, you cannot able to make the assumption nothing but here limit we have drawn the limit equivalent circuit by assuming that the lumping the parameters, the distributed parameters means the transmission line or L and C is going to be often distributed throughout your transmission length of your transmission. For analysis purpose, we have lumped and we made the analysis. But the same thing we cannot able to continue for your long transmission line. Why? Because the distance is going to be often higher and your voltage level also is going to be often higher. Voltage level is going to be often higher. So we have to keep the parameters of distributed parameter for analyzing of your long transmission line. So when it comes with respect of distributed parameter analysis, so we cannot able to analyze the entire section. We are going to consider one point of section. We are going to consider upon one point of section. So we are going to estimate what will be of your quantities. If we estimate, then that is going to be often applicable for the entire length of your transmission line. That is applicable for your entire length of your transmission line. So this type of method here in the image that is going to call us of your rigorous method. That is going to call us of your rigorous method for analyzing of your long transmission line. Okay. Here we cannot assumption limit, we cannot lump your transmission line. Why? Because that will cause us a serious error. That will cause us your serious error. So to get your fair degree of accuracy, it means limit fair degree of your accuracy. So we are going to consider that is going to be often distributed uniformly throughout your transmission line. Long transmission line. So for analysis of your long transmission line, the parameters of our transmission line, remember that parameter is going to remember R, L and C. Remember that is going to be often assuming that is going to be often distributed uniformly. It is going to be often distributed uniformly throughout the transmission line. Here we are not going to assuming that we are not going to assuming that the lumped assume we are going to limit, we are going to ignore it. But we are not going to consider often lumped parameter. Why? Because long transmission line, your voltage is going to be often greater than 100 kilovolts and the distance is going to be often greater than 150 kilometers. So if you consider of lumped parameter, the transmission parameters of lumped parameter, so that will introduce a serious error in your calculation. So to get the fair accuracy of your performance analysis of your long transmission line, here they are going to assuming that limit R, L and C is going to be often distributed uniformly throughout your transmission line. That will be distributed uniformly transmission line. For analysis purpose, here on the inverse, we are going to use the method of regress method. So here if we consider it's going to limit is going to be distributed means how it goes. How you can able to represent your transmission line like this. You can able to represent your transmission line like this. So this is going to be often distributed throughout your transmission line. So parameter is going to be often distributed throughout your transmission line. It means it will have of your resistance and your conductor capacity. So it will be distributed throughout your transmission line. Okay. So this is going to be nothing but R, L, G, C, R, L, G, C, R, L, G, C. So it and for the entire length, this parameter is going to be often distributed uniformly throughout your transmission line. Uniformly throughout your transmission line. So here but we cannot assume the like how we did it for your short, medium transmission line. The same thing we cannot able to do for often long transmission line. You cannot able to lump this distributed parameter and you can keep it at one point. Okay, for analysis purpose. But we can't able to do it for your long transmission. Why? Because the distance is more and voltage is going to be often more. When your lumped parameter is going to be often lumped, that will cause a serious error in your calculation. So that's why here in the long transmission line, the parameters are going to be often distributed uniformly. They will be often distributed uniformly throughout the circuit. Then for analysis purpose, the distributed parameter only we are going to consider. So that method here is going to be called as of your regress method. That is going to be called as of your regress. So this is going to be of your analysis. So for rigorous method of analysis, I'm going to consider the equivalent circuits. I'm going to draw the equivalent circuits of my transmission line. It means I am taking this only one section. So I am taking this only one section. So one section I am going to make it as an equivalent circuit, and that method of analysis here is going to be called as a regress method. The shunt parameter, I'm taking as an admittance. Shunt here is going to take as an admittance y into dx. So this series parameter is going to have an impedance, that is going to have an z into dx. And here before this section, the current is going to have an I plus di. Okay, and this is going to have a current of I current. It's going to have a I current. So and this is going to have my load. And the potential here is going to appear VR. Okay. And this section voltage I am taking of my, after this section, at this section point, this is going to appear V voltage. So then automatically, before this section, the voltage will be V plus dV. V plus dV voltage. So this section here is going to be called as a dx. Short and medium transmission line analysis பண்ண மாதிரியே long transmission line analysis பண்ண முடியாது. ஏன்னா distance ஜாஸ்தி, voltage ஜாஸ்தி. So அப்ப என்ன ஆயிரும்னா lump பண்ணீங்கன்னா the calculation is going to happen completely wrong. Okay, so this causes a serious error in your calculation for the design and operation of your transmission line. Okay, so that's why here it has to be considered as a distributed parameter, and that should be distributed uniformly. So when it is distributed uniformly for entire length of section, calculation is going to be tedious. So here we are going to take only one section. In the section, then that is going to be applicable for the entire section. Okay, so on the section which I consider for analysis here going to happen dx, this section is going to happen situated at a distance of x from your receiving end point. I'm considering a small section. The small section is going to happen dx, right? Where the dx is going to happen situated at a distance of x meter from the receiving end. From the receiving end. So here, I am going to consider the quantity value. Okay, I'm going to consider the quantity value. It means that is nothing but is going to be of my series impedance. That is my series impedance, and y is going to be of my shunt admittance. Y is going to be of my shunt admittance. Okay, V is the voltage. I'm assuming that V is the voltage at end of the element. At the end of the element. End of the element. It means towards my receiving end. Towards my receiving end. Okay, and V plus dV is nothing but the voltage at the end of the element. Sorry, voltage at the end of the element. End of element towards sending in. So similarly, I plus dA is equal to the current in the section. In this section, dx. Current in this section, it means entering current. So this is nothing but the entering current. Okay. I is going to be of the current at your leaving section. I is the current leaving at this section. So for this small section, I can write what will be of my impedance and what is my admittance, so that I can able to write what will be of my section voltage, nothing but dV voltage. So it means for a small section, the dV, it means the section impedance is nothing but I can write it out nothing but Z into dx. Z into dx is nothing but section impedance. It means the dx section I have considered the section impedance at dx. Okay, so y into dx is nothing but section admittance at dx, so that I can able to write what about my dV voltage. It means my dV is equal to of your I into Z into dx. Okay, so from this I can write dV by dx is equal to of I into Z. I into Z. Okay, so if I consider nothing but dA is the current in the section of Y, it means it's going to be of your current through of shunt admittance. So it means dA is the current shunt current, that is going to be of my shunt current, or remember the current through the dA is the current through shunt admittance. So automatically I can able to write dI is equal to often V into Y into dx. Okay, so it means dI by dx is equal to often V into Y. So this is going to appear 2. So I can differentiate this equation, differentiating the equation 1 and 2, 1 with respect to x. So dV by dx is equal to often I into Z. So if I differentiate d square V by dx square is equal to often Z into dI by dx. Okay, so this dI by dx I can substitute in terms of y into v. Just I will erase it out. Here my aim is nothing but I have to calculate my Vs and as well as of my Is, because I know what will be of my receiving quantity of my VR and IR. So for this section, if I know about how to calculate my Vs and Is, then that is going to be applicable for the entire transmission. Okay. So whenever on the section level, what will be the voltage in this series impedance, and what about my shunt current? So if I know, then I am differentiating this remote equation 1 with respect of an x, I will get this. So So dA by dx, instead of this dA by dx, I can substitute often v into y. So automatically my d square v by dx square is equal to so z into di by dx. So this di by dx I can replace by v into y. So it means that is nothing but that is equal to often z into v into y. Okay. So this I can write y z v, nothing but d square v by dx square. So what is the equation 3? What is the represents? What is the equation 3 represents? என்னப்பா equation 3 என்னப்பா represent பண்ணுது? d square v by dx square differential equation. Okay, you can write this equation. So what is the differential equation solution for this second order differential equation? Solution for your second order differential equation. So that I can write this nothing but, so solution means v1 v I can write. So v will be equal to often. This is going to be nothing but, so nothing but second order differential equation. Solution for my second order differential equation, for this differential equation. Differential equation. So this number equation 3 represents your second order differential equation. We can write what will be the standard form of your solution for your second order differential equation. So but v will be equal to often k1 into cos h of right x into square root of y into z plus k2 into sin h of x into square root of y into z. Okay, going to appear 4. Equation 4. Okay, I need to calculate the voltage and current. So if I want to limit current bit, and I am differentiating the solution equation 4 with respect to of my x. Okay, if I differentiate the equation 4 with respect to x, okay, I can get dv by dx. So nothing but that is going to appear k1 into square root of y into z sin h of x into square root of y into z plus k2 square root of y into z cos h of x into square root of y into z. Okay, but we know that dv by dx is nothing but I into z. dv by dz is equal to often I into z. So I am going to substitute instead of number dv by dx. Okay, I am substituting I into z. It means I into z from 1. From 1, I into z is equal to often k1 into square root of y by z sin h x into square root of y into z. Okay, plus k2 y into z cos h of x into square root of y into z. Okay, so from this I can write what about my I. Z inge kontra varum kela. Z inge kontra enna irum square root of y by z nu. Root of y by z nu. So I can write it. I will be equal to often k1 square root of y by z. ஏன்னா z வந்து என்ன பண்ணலாம் root z into root z னு எழுதலாம். So அப்ப இது ஒரு z cancel it will be often y by z வந்துரும். So automatically it will be but sin h of x into square root of y into z plus k2 square root of y by z cos h of x into y by z. Okay, so this is going to appear equation 5. So So equation 4 and 5 will give the what will be of the voltage of your sending end and as well as of your receiving end. That will give what about your voltage of your sending end as well as of your receiving end. But here we'll have the constant of K1 and K2. So we have the constant of K1 and K2. So it means we have to find out the constant value. So to determine the constant value, we are going to apply the initial conditions. Okay. It means your end conditions. What about your end conditions? Okay. To find out your K1 and K2, we are going to applying end conditions. It means at x is equal to 0. If my distance is equal to 0, right? V will be equal to of my VR and I will be equal to of your IR. I have drawn the from the receiving end point at a distance of x meter. I have considered this section. In this section only I am determining what will be of the voltage of my current. Okay. So if the distance x is equal to 0, that will be related to the respect of my receiving end point. So when at x is equal to 0, so this V become of the receiving end voltage and I become of my sending and receiving end voltage. So it means the thing, but when I substitute this one in equation 4, okay, I can able to get VR will be equal to often K1 cos H of 0 plus K2 sin H of 0. So it means cos H is nothing but 1. So you can able to get off here VR will be equal to of here K1 plus 0. So it means K1 will be equal to of here VR. Right? Similarly, I can substitute in equation 5. If I substitute in equation 5, the same condition, okay, so I can get I will be equal to of here square root of y by z will common K1 sin H of 0 plus K2 cos H of 0. So this is nothing but square root of y by z. So this is going to become of 0 plus K2. So it means IR. So I can replace by because V I can replace by VR. Similarly, I can replace by IR. IR will be equal to square root of y by z into K2. So this implies K2 will be equal to square root of z by y into R. IR. At x is equal to 0, V become VR, I become of IR. That I am substituting in this equation 4. So V become of VR and x become of 0. So this become of cos H of 0 and limit sin H of 0. So sin H of 0 become of 0 value. Cos H of 0 is going to be of 1. So I can able to get what is my K1. So here I can write K1 equal to VR and nothing but K2 will be equal to z by y into IR. So this but I am substituting in the equation 4 and 5. So this value K1 value and K2 value I am going to substitute in the equation 4 and 5. I am going to substitute in the equation 4 and 5. Now this K1 value and K2 value I am going to substitute in the equation 4 and 5. 4 and 5. So I can able to get the x number. I can able to remove my K1 and K2 constant value. So I will get what is the function value for often V and I at a limit at a distance of x. But if I replace limit, if the limit is under limit length of the transmission. See here, I have taken a limit from respect to the receiving point. This section is I have taken a often at x distance. At x distance section I and calculating the voltage. If this X is going to be a complete length of L length, then what will be of your expression? Okay, so that we have to do often by expansion, Taylor series expansion. Then you will get what will be the expression. Okay, so first I am going to substitute what is the value of K1 and K2 in equation 4 and 5, so that I can get the voltage and current in terms of for a long further section. Okay. Substituting the values of K1, K2 in equation 4 and 5. So I can get V will be equal to here. That is, I'll write the expression cos h of x into square root of y into z plus K2 sin h of x into square root of y by z. So this is the fourth equation. So I am substituting the K1 value. K1 value is VR. VR into cos h of x into square root of y by z plus K2 is IR into square root of y by z. So here nothing but I can write square root of y by z into sin h of x into square root of y into z. So similarly, this is going to be a V, and I will be equal to often square root of y by z. I have taken commonly V of sin h of x into y by z, okay, plus IR z by y cos h of x into square root of y by z. So if I simplify, I can get square root of y by z into VR and h of x into square root of y by z IR. This y by z and this y by z will get cancelled. You will get cos h of x into square root of y into z. So this is going to appear I. This is going to appear I. But I need Vs and Is. Okay. It means if I putting x is equal to often L length. What is the length of the transmission length? If I put x is equal to L length, then I can able to get what is the value of Vs as well as of my Is. So it means Vs will be equal to of my VR cos h of L by square root of y into z plus square root of z by y into IR sin h of L into square root of y into z. Okay. Similarly, Is will be equal to of my square root of y by z VR sin h of L into y by z. Okay. That's IR cos h of L into square root of y into z. So I can take L into square root of y by z. I can take it as of my square root of capital Y into capital Z. So it means my Y, what capital Y is going to be of my total admittance of my transmission line, and capital Z is equal to one total impedance. So upon automatically I can write it. This L and Z here, capital Y and Z I can replace. Okay. So for finding out the solution, you cannot able to substitute directly. So this you have to expand. It means cos h oda expansion பண்ணனும், sin h oda expansion பண்ணனும். Okay. Then only you can able to find the solutions. So here I have considered the long transmission line. The long transmission line is R and L is going to R, L and C is going to be often distributed uniformly throughout your transmission line. So this thing, but it will have of here. We cannot able to neglect the parameter in your short transmission line. Sorry, medium long transmission line. Okay, it will be distributed uniformly throughout your transmission line. Where I think, but I cannot able to lump together for analysis purpose. Okay, so this should be but for analysis of a long transmission line, this parameter should be considered as often distributed parameter. That way it will be uniformly distributed throughout your long transmission line. Okay, so it will be of distributed uniformly throughout your long transmission line. So for analysis, I am going to consider only one section with respect to the long transmission line. And the section at a x distance from the receiving point. So this section is there. So this section, this impedance, series impedance, I am going to take as often total impedance, series impedance, and this is going to be as your admittance. Okay, I have to keep it as often admittance. Okay. Since I have see that I have not neglected my conductance. Conductance also has to be included in your long transmission line. It should not be neglected. Okay, it has to be considered for your long transmission line. So all the distributed parameters in the transmission line should be considered for your long transmission line if you want to calculate your performance analysis. So in this section, I am going to calculate what about your current and voltage. Then if able to find out what is the voltage and current, then I can expand for that entire section of my transmission line. Okay, so that only I have did it here. Okay, it means I am bringing it in terms of differential equation, and the differential equation solution, we know what is the standard form of second order differential equation. So that what is the solution I am writing down. In that solution, I have there will be a constant of K1 and K2. To determine the constant K1 and K2, I am substituting the end condition. It means with respect to the receiving end point. With respect to the receiving end point, when the distance of x is equal to 0, so automatically that voltage V and I is would become of the receiving end voltage of VR and IR. So if I substitute that condition, I can able to calculate what about my K1 and K2 constant. Once if I determine the constant of K1 and K2, that I can substitute in my solution equation. So if I put that one, I will get what is the value of V and I. But this V and I is exclusive for this section. But the total length of the limit long transmission line is going to be of here L length. So I am replacing the thing, but nothing but for getting of Vs and Is, I am putting x is equal to often L, so that I can able to get what is the value of Vs and Is. So this is the value of my Vs and this is the value of your Is. It means sending in current and sending in voltage. So this L into YZ I have taken as upon total limit Y into capital Y into Z. This is limit total impedance and total admittance of my long transmission line. Total admittance and total impedance of the long transmission. So here remember I cannot able to limit if I find out the value and if I substitute, if I simplify, it will give the wrong solution. It has to be expanded. This value has to be expanded. So that we'll see that how we are expanding in the numerical problem. Okay, any doubt? Is there a doubt, Rudaba? Any doubt? I can able to see very less number of students today has joined for the class. So many absentees are there. So I have posted the assignment quiz in the Google form. It will be opening at 2 o'clock, right? So that you can complete before Saturday. So for in the afternoon session, come with your calculators. We are going to solve the numerical problems. We are going to solve the numerical problems for the short, medium, and long transmission line. So keep your calculator with you. Okay. So any doubt for the performance calculation of your short, medium, and long transmission line? For analysis purpose only, we have considered nothing but the short, medium, and transmission line. We have categorized limit based on your voltage and your distance. Okay, it's limit we have classified based on the voltage and distance only. We have categorized the transmission line as often short, medium, and long transmission line. Okay, so here but in the short and medium transmission line, we can assume the parameter is going to be a lumped parameter. Okay, as the voltage is lesser and distance is going to be lesser, it can be assumed as often lumped parameter. But the same thing we cannot able to do it for your long transmission line. Why? Because the length is higher and voltage is going to be higher. We cannot assume the distributed parameter as often lumped parameter for analysis. It should be considered as often distributed element only. Okay, so for that we are using a regress method to analyze your long transmission line. Okay. So this 3 limits, short one derivation is there, right? Medium 3 and long is 1, 4. So that limit total is going to appear. We'll have 4 derivation in your performance analysis. So based on this equation only, we are going to solve the numerical problem. Okay, we'll see it in the afternoon session.